Good morning, Mr. Wenzel. Is it Wenzel?
Winesel, yes.
Weinzel?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Weinzel, you're charged with assault of a family member.
Sir.
You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir.
Officers were dispatched to a residence in Harris County, Texas, in response to a disturbance. The complainant.
Okay, let's pause. A family fight over house chores just escalated into criminal charges. Yes, you heard that right. The nephew claims his uncle punched him, and the police even found cell phone video evidence. What do you think? Is this justice? At work, or just a bad family Thanksgiving waiting to happen? Let us know in the comments.
The defendant's nephew and the defendant lived together and were involved in a verbal argument regarding house chores. The complainant told the officers that the defendant struck him once in the face with a closed fist, causing pain. Officers reviewed cell phone video of the incident and observed redness and swelling where the complainant was struck.
Say it again.
Yes, Judge. So their officers were dispatched to a disturbance at a residence. The complainant, who is the defendant's nephew, lives with the defendant, and they were involved in a verbal argument regarding house chores. The complainant told the officers that the defendant struck him in the face with a closed fist, causing pain. The officers reviewed cell phone video of the incident and also observed redness and swelling where the complainant was struck.
What's the age of, are we talking a young, don't, please.
20-year-old, Your Honor.
Okay. Have you spoken to this person?
Yes, Judge.
Tell me.
So he lives, the complainant lives with his grandmother in that house. The defendant lives on the property, I believe in a shed in the back, and then he's permitted to use the kitchen and the washing machine and things like that. The complainant just asked that they have no threatening or harassing contact. He didn't request a full no contact because he does kind of use that house and they live at the same address.
Is that dangerous? The problem is, Mr. Wenzel, is, I don't know what kind of relationship you have with this person. And it's a 20-year-old. 20-year-olds are like volcanoes about to erupt, and you never know when you're going to catch a 20-year-old on a good day, you're going to catch them on a bad day. And the last thing I want is for you to pick up a new case. So it scares me that,
we're not having no contact. We're not associating with each other.
But the problem is that you're invariably going to run into him again.
Good. We're not.
So what do you do with yourself? Do you have an income?
No, I'm 100% disabled.
Okay, so let's do this. I had a feeling whether I was going to give you a lawyer or not. So I think the thing that we should do is let me give you a lawyer. We can talk about the dynamic, how to go forward. But the last thing I want is you to accidentally run into him. You guys have more beef. You guys end up fighting again, and then more charges are filed. So let me appoint you a lawyer, and then we'll figure out. For now, no threatening or harassing contact with this person. I'm issuing a protective order. So he has a protective order in his favor now. So if you violate this protective order, they can file additional charges against you. Do you understand? But look, there's probably one already as it is. Yeah. It's on December 2nd, they issued the protective order. Second.
It looks like they took off the residency restriction
Yeah.
and then the
Yeah, but understand, everything else in that protective order applies. So it's no threatening, harassing, Remember, it doesn't matter what you think, it's how they proceed. All right. So what I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have you step over, sign a receipt with Ramona. We'll have you find a seat somewhere, and then I'll have you speak to a lawyer here momentarily. Sure. Let's see. I have one already on file. So, okay. You are Juan Morales Calel. So you're charged with driving while intoxicated. It's elevated to a Class A misdemeanor because of the high blow. So you are facing a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, sir.
I know.
Morning. On December 1st, 2024, at approximately 12:11 a.m., the officer conducted a traffic stop on the defendant's vehicle after observing it fail to maintain a single lane as it drove from the second to the fourth lane without using a turn signal, nearly striking the officer's marked vehicle. The vehicle continued to drive outside of the marked lane as it drove north on Hillcroft Avenue, and upon contact with the defendant, who was in the driver's seat of the vehicle, the officer detected an odor of an alcoholic beverage, glossy eyes, and slurred speech. The defendant admitted to drinking prior to driving, and standard field sobriety tests were attempted. However, officers were unable to observe HGN because the defendant was unable to follow instructions. Walk and turn, 5 out of 8 clues were found, and one leg stand, 3 out of 4 clues were found. The DIC was read, and the defendant consented to breath. The results were .191, .188.
Okay. Any prior DUIs?
No, Your Honor.
Have you run it?
There's no driver's license on the record, Your Honor.
It's got to run something. If you can run an NCIC, an FBI number, just let's make sure he doesn't have any prior DWIs. Just because it says it's DWI first doesn't mean anything.
Yes, sir, we run that, and there's no prior,
Okay.
there's no driver's license.
Mr. Morales, I'm going to
What did you catch that? Judge Fleischer just dropped the immigration reality bomb on Morales. This isn't just a DWI case anymore, it's a potential life changer. The moment jail gets involved, so does ICE. This is a brutal reminder that one bad decision behind the wheel can spiral into deportation. What would you do in his shoes?
find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. Are you a United States citizen?
No,
Are you in this country with or without permission?
without permission.
What happens if you go to jail, Ms. Morales?
Used to ver a cárcel, señor Morales. I don't have any idea, I don't know.
Are you in this country with or without
Está en el
permission?
pisco sin permiso.
Sí, estoy sin permiso.
I'm without permission.
So what happens if you go to jail?
Entonces, ¿qué le pasa a
I want you to think about
¿Qué
this.
piensa acerca de esto?
Sí, sí, tiene razón.
Yes, you're right, I shouldn't be doing this here.
Immigration sweeps the jail on a daily basis, every couple of hours. If they find you in the jail, they will put a detainer on you and you will be stuck in custody until this case is over with and then shipped off to immigration. You will sit in jail for about 6 to 9 months, if not longer, waiting for all that to happen. If you do not want that to happen, then don't violate my laws, don't endanger my public, and follow my conditions. The first condition is you're not to drive. You don't have a Texas driver license, so you're not allowed to drive, and I'm making that a condition of your bond. You will be signing a promise with me today indicating that you're not going to drive, and I don't care what your deal is. I don't care what your excuse is. You cannot justify getting into a car for any reason. If you do, you will go to jail, and I can have a contempt hearing and hold you with another 180 days and a $500 fine every time you drive. Likewise, no dope, no illegal drugs, no alcohol, you will be randomly tested. You test positive for drugs or alcohol, likewise, you will go to jail. You have a lawyer. It is your responsibility to stay in touch with Mr. It says, I have Sharma.
That's it.
It's
It's the other Morales, it's Juan.
The top of it.
Oh, okay. You have a lawyer. It's your responsibility to stay in touch with counsel. If you lose out of contact, if he tells me that he can't get hold of you because you're playing games, likewise, I will issue a warrant for your arrest. Mr. Morales, you will not get any more warnings. Heed this, take this as it is. If you don't, we have only one place for you.
Caso tenemos un lugar para usted. Okay.
All right, we'll have you come up here, swear to us that you're not going to drive. We'll get you to Ramona to sign a reset. You will get with Felicia for your bond conditions, and after that, you're free to go. Thank you. Good morning, Mr. Lemberg. Sir, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge. On December 1st, 2024, the officer conducted a traffic stop on the defendant's vehicle after observing it operating with an expired registration, traveling north on Kirby Drive. Upon contact with the defendant, the officer observed the odor of alcoholic beverage, glossy eyes, and an open container on the passenger side door.
An open container.
The passenger side door, Judge.
Standard field sobriety tests were performed, HGN 4 out of 6, walk and turn 3 out of 8, one leg stand 3 out of 4. The DIC was read, but the defendant refused. Blood search warrant was signed and executed.
Stop for I zoned.
Expired registration, Your Honor.
No driving facts, Judge.
What do you mean?
It's not like he ran a red light or failed to maintain a single lane. It was simply the registration.
Get it? He's got an open container. A year and a half ago, he had one dismissed.
I understand, Judge.
Do you have any more details? Is it cold to the touch? Is it halfway down?
Passenger side door.
I know, but people can put it in the passenger side door, Marcos,
Kind
you
of
know?
far.
No, Your Honor, the only details we have are in the passenger side door.
You don't have any more information? I mean,
Information about the container, Your Honor.
And we don't have the offense report yet, Judge.
Correct.
We just don't, that, the DIMS don't clarify whether it's cold to the touch or warm to the touch.
how long? Because if I find that it's an open container, I'm taking away his privilege to drive. And I'd like to know because,
Try to call the officer really quickly, Judge.
okay, yeah.
Just give us a few
Yeah,
minutes.
absolutely. Mr. Lemberg, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. I'm ordering you now as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. I'm also now putting a prohibition on your license. You're not allowed to drive any vehicle that doesn't have an ignition interlock on it. If I catch you driving without an interlock, I'm going to put you in jail. Do you understand?
Understood.
You will not get any more PR bonds. If I find that you have an open container of alcohol in the car while you're driving, I'm going to take your privilege to drive away from you. You're not allowed to drive for any reason. I don't care. Do you understand?
So
Likewise, if I find that you drive, you will go to jail, and I can have a contempt hearing because I'm going to have you sign an affidavit with me today promising me you're not going to drive. I don't care if there's a burning building and 15 kittens that need to be saved. You drive, I can have a contempt hearing. You can be facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $500 fine every time you drive. Do you understand?
Sir.
I don't know yet, Marcos. If he's got the open container, it's going to happen. If it doesn't,
Judge,
then I'm
again,
not.
SUV, it's an open container on the passenger side door. And I'd have to look at all the facts of the case, Judge, and talk to my client, but, you know, I've never seen a case where the open container is on the passenger side door. It seems to me.
If there was possibly someone else there, I
Of course,
get it.
That's exactly.
But, you know, a little ingenuity goes a long way, as they say. You know what I mean? I don't know. I mean, perhaps he didn't see the furtive movements. Perhaps, I don't know. It was late at night. What time was this?
Your Honor, this took place at midnight, Your Honor.
I don't know. Let's see what they say, and then we'll go from there. For now, I'm going to have you come up here, swear to this for now, and then I'll destroy it if they don't say that it's an open container. I'm going to have you sign a receipt with Ramona. We'll get you with Felicia for bond conditions. You have a lawyer. I will waive your appearance while you have the lawyer, but it is your responsibility to stay in touch with Marcos. If he tells me he can't get a hold of you because you're playing games, then I'm going to revoke your bond. You pick up a new case, you consume alcohol, endanger my public in any way, it's over.
It's an answer.
Say it again.
Oh, the deputy didn't answer, the judge.
So just to be clear, Judge, is he able to drive with the interlock, or you're saying he cannot drive?
I mean, I guess I'll give him the benefit of the doubt now because I just don't know. But can you reach out to the officer? And then if you find that it is an open container, it's like cold to the touch, halfway, drunk, come back, let me know, and then I'm taking it away. For now, I'm ordering you not to drive any vehicle that doesn't have an interlock on it. And that's it. I would hope that it's elementary that you understand you're not supposed to have alcohol in the car while you're driving. Elementary.
Thank you, Judge.
Judge, do you want the order file?
Please. Good morning, Mr. Duval. Sir, you're charged with assault causing bodily injury. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge. The officers was dispatched to a residence in Harris County, Texas, in response to a disturbance with a weapon. The complainant advised that she was in her home when she heard someone knocking loudly on the front door. When the complainant's husband, the witness, opened the door, he and the defendant started arguing. The complainant stepped between them to try to stop the fight, and the defendant shoved her, causing her to fall to the ground and hit her head, causing pain. The witness told the officers that when the complainant fell, the defendant called her a dumb bitch. And when the officer spoke to the defendant, he stated that he went over to the complainant's house after the complainant and the defendant's wife got into an argument. The defendant then stated that the witness chased him with a machete and a baseball bat. The officers did not find either of those items at the location.
Who said that?
The defendant stated the witness chased him, but the officers did not find this.
Okay. Do we know if she still wants to have contact? Have you got the rip done?
The rip was done.
Yes, Judge, I spoke to this complainant. She's requested no contact. I think they're neighbors. They live about a mile away from each other. And then she's just requested that he's not allowed to come to her property either.
Okay. But the bad blood is, I guess, between the gentlemen as well, though.
I think it's between
Right.
both families. She explained to me that there was a argument that was started a couple months ago, just between them, and then it's kind of been ongoing since then.
All right, Mr. Duval, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. Don't have contact with these people. I see there's bad blood, but it's just not worth it sitting in a box 6x9 for months on end because it's just some bad blood. Just don't go back over there. Don't have contact with them.
This part hits hard. Judge Fleischer breaks it down with real-world wisdom. When you get into a pissing match with people with authority, you're gonna lose. He's not just talking law here, he's talking survival. But what do you think? Is this tough love or judicial overreach?
Don't be in possession of weapons and then everyone's happy.
One question, that is my aunt's house. So, sometimes I do have to drop stuff up.
I would use someone else.
Yes, sir.
The problem is that I don't want you to go over there.
Yes, sir, I understand.
One day they're accidentally there, they start popping off to you, and then boom, you're the one that's on bond for this case. So even if they call the cops and it's not true and they start, fibbing and saying this, the cops come out, they're going to be on you because you got the open case.
Yes, sir.
So when you get into a pissing match with people with authority, 9 times out of 10, you're just going to lose, right? So it's best to prevent all that. So that's why we do this.
Yes,
So
sir.
just don't go over there, don't have any contact, and then we're all happy.
Yes, sir.
What do you do for a living?
Construction.
Do you have the ability to hire a lawyer?
Yes.
What kind of money do you make a month?
Well, I just got back to work. I make right at 25 an hour.
Okay. If you want time, I can give you time to hire a lawyer. If you have any issues and you're unable.
I use Juan Vasquez. Juan Vasquez.
Okay. Is that, you want to go hire this person?
Yeah, I will hire him. Yeah.
Okay. So what we're going to do now.
I was told that I didn't need a lawyer because more than likely this would be thrown out.
Do that.
No, Mr. Vasquez, it says something.
I don't see how anyone can say that without.
Because
Okay.
I didn't.
So I got a bunch of DAs here. Everything you say is recorded. They use it. So just don't. Better to have the lawyer work on it to try to work it to your favor, but just don't say anything now because anything you say, they're going to use it against you. So I'm going to have you sign a reset with Ramona. We'll have you take a seat in the jury box. I'll get your bond conditions. We'll have you sign it. And then after that, you'll be free to go.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
So no contact, no weapon.